And that's something that I think is very worrisome. I want to pick up on a comment that my colleague today spoke about.
Okay, hello everyone. A little delay in setting up stuff. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see who we have here. So we have Nox10. That's a first timer, I guess. Nox says, hello, Mr. Maron. Hello, Nox. Guys, don't forget to let me know your gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. And just like the one below Nox, the first message, Stephen says, Stephen, M for male, 42, age, Los Angeles. So three things: M for male, F for female, and 42, the age, and where you're tuning in from, which city, which country. So please include that in every one of your questions, whether it's a follow-up or not. It reminds me so I know who I'm talking with and what kind of appropriate address I could make in making it more tailor-made response. Or response. So, Stephen, let's say hello to everyone and they'll come back to Stephen, the first question. Ash is here. Hello, Ash says, right. Ash, you forgot age and where you're tuning in from. And Noak says male 24 Germany. Ah, danke schön. The leader says male 21 Morocco. Okay, ahlan wa sahlan. I hope that's the right thing to say. Slidden reminds me of Harry Potter's slithering house. And says male 20, Michigan, right? Howdy. and we'll come to all the questions in a second. Daniel S says 24, male, Netherlands. Ah, I don't know how to say hello in Netherlands. I mean, in Dutch, well, it's hello. And Ash says male 34 UK. Thank you for that. Leader says, aha, good accent. Ah, okay. All right, let's go to the questions. Stephen says, worried about my future. Who isn't, Stephen? Join the club. And this is having to meet someone. You don't have to, but I know you want to, like every one of us, and start over again. Yeah, what else do you have to do in this world? If you're not being enthusiastic or having time or interest or motivation for one of the most exciting and beautiful things in life, which is meeting a girl, new girl, you know, whatever floats your boat. And in this case, meeting a new girl, it's amazing. Her consciousness is a world on its own. And in order to navigate in that ocean of her world, you need to learn about, you know, nook and crannies, like where the things are, how she operates. And to understand that, it's a journey, like a journey you take with your boat on the ocean, go different islands in different locations and different caves and different tropical areas, and you learn and the dances and the traditions and so on and so forth. And that is exactly what every human being is. So, what's more exciting than that? What else are we here to do if we are not to meet each other and learn about each other, and specifically in a romantic setting to find out what she's all about, what makes her tick, what makes her to be at her best, and then notice and focus on what makes her a psychopath or what makes her unworthy partner or acquaintance. And we both, I mean, people on both sides are trying to measure each other and make analysis in order to decide if it's a right connection or not. And what's more exciting game and understanding uh, and an endeavor, a project than that? So you telling me having to meet someone and start over again. What else do we have in this fucking world to do? That's the most beautiful, exciting thing to do, to look forward to. I'm going to go on a date with this girl. I'm going to do this for her. I'm going to do that for her. I'm going to get to know her. But if your intention is just to go there, get service, then you come up to this conclusion. I got to start over again. I got to let her know what I like, what I don't like. So it's all about you. One of the reasons that we actually fucking fail in a relationship is that we do not try to understand that this is a two-way, so it's a teamwork. It's a relationship. Not a relationship train that is just passing by a station and says, okay, howdy, bye. It's a ship. It's in the ocean. You're supposed to be working together to make this ship navigate and negotiate the waves and the storms and the tsunamis and the sunny days and the fishing time and leisure time and all of that together. For that, you need to be focused on what it is that you're interested, that makes you tick, and what it is that makes you not tick, and what it is that makes her tick, and what it is that makes her not tick. It's supposed to be concerned about her well-being, and you see if she's concerned about your well-being. If both are concerned about each other's psychological security, safety, feeling secure, and providing services and being unselfish and providing comfortable surroundings for each other, attending to each other. And the key word here is each other, meaning when you're doing it, you're also receiving it. So it's not like, oh, I should always be careful about her. No, it's not about her. It's about each other, meaning as you're doing, she's also on the same wavelength. She's also taking care of you. And that makes it you're taking care of her and you're being taken care of. She's taking care of you and she's being taken care of because you're both doing it. So that's a beautiful way of spending a day. Why do you go to work? Why do any of us go to work? Why do we want to make money? I'm talking to the boys right now. The girls can maybe see if it suits them as well or not. It's up to you. But we boys go to work to make money for what? To provide for our girl, our family, ourselves. But we always have them in mind. That's a hallmark of a chevalier. That's a hallmark of a real man. You want to provide. You get up and you go to work. If it was just for you, yeah, you could really want good stuff and you would be motivated to go and make lots of money to buy those good stuff and have a good lifestyle. Yes, but to what end? To the end that you can share that with a woman. Not not ownership of it, but you can share the enjoyment that this success and money and so on and so forth will bring with a woman of your choice, that you could make her life a little bit better. So these are all great motivations. Forget about all the bullshit of the feminism that they're trying to pretend that they don't need that. Every woman appreciates that. A real woman wants that, appreciates that. And that is one of their criterias, even though they're trying so hard to say, we don't need women, we don't need men, and we don't need anything. We can do it ourselves. No, they can't and they don't want to do, because there are lots of things that we do and we can do and they cannot do. We make roads, railroads. We go where the disasters hit. We go to the earthquake places that it's hit and people need help. We build buildings. We construct. We go to wars. We get killed. There are lots of things that we do that women can't do or do not want to do. So this whole bullshit of feminism, they can keep it. And those feminists with that connotation, I mean, if feminism, the connotation is a normal connotation, such as equal pay, equal opportunity, equal rights, sovereignty of your body, and all the good things that we are all entitled for, I'm all for it. I support 100% every woman to achieve anything they set their mind to. Not a problem. But if feminism has the connotation of I hate men and I'm better than them, I'm competing with them, well, that kind of woman has no place in my life or in most real men's life. We don't want someone who thinks that way. We want a woman who can do things that we cannot do. The love, the center of family, the motivation, why we do, why we live, all of that is big part for women. And if they can't appreciate that, they're the ones who I want to have nothing to do with because they're not life makers. They're just angry and competition and feeling inadequate. That femininity, that womanhood, that nurturing, that's what the world needs. And that's what the world has been based upon. If you want to take that away from us, well, then thank you, but no thank you. We'll still love the women who are proud, want to be woman, love to be woman, and feminine, and appreciate their man. So, what you're here talking about is really lack of focus on the importance of the opportunity that you have and the pleasure that you receive from actually meeting someone new. But instead of meeting someone new, you want someone being packaged ready for you so you don't have to introduce yourself to her. You don't have to go through all the experiences that makes everything so amazing and beautiful and exciting, not to know on the journey to know about her. And then you decide if it's a right choice or not. So that should be your focus, not this idea that, oh, it's not ready. Well, you want to eat a good food, good meal. You buy the ingredients, but you got to cook them. You got to put them together, fuse them together, give it time and all that, and right spices, right mixture, right time on the stove, and all that takes time. You can't say, well, I want the food, but I don't want to make it. That's exactly what you're saying. I want the relationship, I want that woman, but I don't want to go through actually introducing myself and getting to know her and putting it together and see if we are compatible or not. Well, then you won't get what you're looking for, which is the exact thing that you want, but you're not willing to put the time and effort in it. You just want it to be ready. Well, that makes it McDonald's. And how many how many fast foods are really nutritious and good for you? So the kind of woman you're looking for is not a relationship woman. So is that what you want? I don't think so. So put the work in, you'll get what you want. You don't want to put the work in, well, it's not going to happen. Just going to be sitting around and wishing for it. All right. Having gone through that now, let's go with Ash. Ash says, we need to get some fresh meat here. 20 years from now, I'm going to be seeing in the comments, Stephen made 52. 20 years from now, what's your math? God damn it. He says 42, that'll be 62, right? Jesus, 20 years from now, I may or may not be here. Remember that. So I'm going to be seeing in the comments, Stephen Mail 52, Los Angeles, and Mehran's going to be doing his stream from an open casket. That's right. Thank you for that. God damn it. Vote of confidence. Says, hopefully not, though. Yeah, I hope so. Says, what should I have said was, hello, everyone. Good to see you. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, now you got a 62. That's right. And Ash says, get the tea ready, boys and girls. It's going to be a good one. All right. Thank you for that. And so we now go to what? Slidin says, you have a tattoo on your arm. What is it? Oh, yes, I do. I have two tattoos, which, when I was growing up, I grew up in a society and a culture that, at least in my family, that a tattoo wasn't a good thing, that it was for hoodlums and criminals and murderers and thieves and robbers and outlaws. Or they've been like I don't know, in the military for some reason they had that. Navy people usually. But anyhow, it was frowned upon. But, times have changed, and I'd never experienced having a tattoo and never was for it. But there were a couple of things in my life, that made quite of an impression on me, and was a good lesson and good journey, good path. Taught me a lot, helped me a lot. So those two particular events represented certain words or sentence or a certain symbol. And I had shared that story of where those lessons were and what age I was and from where I received it. One was from my equestrian instructor. It was like a father to me. And my father knew him. That's why I never called anybody like a father to me, but because he was actually a very good role model, and my father knew him. And So that's the only one. And he also, he also loved me like his son, and he was a very good instructor, very strict, and I learned lots of good mannerism as far as um, philosophy of life while I was training with horses and so on. It was a very constructive, positive environment around him with all the students and so on. So there was something that I learned at one of our meetings settings. Usually I would go early in the morning before every other student, like 6:30 in the morning, and we would wait until maybe others come. And he was in his office in the stable. So we would talk about certain things, and I would learn things and so on. So this particular phrase had a certain meaning on that particular day when I was dealing with some challenge. So that stuck in my mind. And I explained that to my son when he was very young. I don't know, maybe 6 years old. And he used it in his journey. And I also had experienced the art of martial arts of Aikido for a long time. I trained and for a long time I taught it. And it had a symbol of energy, universal key. And that was very meaningful to me in my life in many different echelons, challenges, and levels. So we don't want to go into that. However, so these two were very important to me. And of course, I had shared that also with my son at a very young age about key, universal energy, and Aikido, martial arts. And we trained together. And, he was also put in kickboxing since 4-year-old and so on. So he was quite versed in understanding martial arts and practicing it. So just recently, a few months back, he decided that he wants to have those two as tattoo. And I was not for it. I couldn't understand it, but I said, well, it's your decision. And so, okay, if you do it, I'll do it too, because I'm with him. So he did it, and then he made an appointment for me, and he paid for it too, for mine. So I got it. So here it is. You can take a look. There's one here, and then there is another one here. So there's the story of the tattoo. I guess you want to know what it means. This one is written in Farsi, Persian language, and it says Min Sabre Zafar, meaning from patience comes victory. And to me, that was a very meaningful thing all throughout my life, and a way to deal with some things that, in fact, at this very moment, I needed to hear that because I'm dealing with something. Okay. All right. So now that I have explained all that to Slidden Crust, Male 20, Michigan, we go to what would you say to your 24 self, Daniel says. Nothing. I would say what I've all along tried to do. Think deep and judge well. Don't make hasty decisions. Think deep and judge well. Do your best in everything you do. That's all you can do. Detach yourself from the outcome. detach yourself from the outcome. Focus on the effort. Focus on the effort. Effort is now. Effort is actuality. Effort is being present in the now moment. Effort is being mindful. When you're focusing on the effort, not the outcome, then you're one with the moment, one with reality, actuality, and the moment of life. That is when you can make things happen. You can modify them, you can change them, you can not do them, you can do them, but be focused and mindful of that effort you're making, for that effort brings you to the moment, to the now, present. You won't be perceiving life, you won't be in your memory, you would be here where things are happening, and you have a chance to modify and design, change, do or not do. Pretty much. There are a lot more things, I guess, but that's, I guess, good enough. You don't want to get more than what you asked for. All right, now. What else do we have here? Lant T. Oh, Lan. Lan is here. Hello, Lan. Says male 15 is Slovenia. Thank you for that. Says hello, Miran. Hope you are doing good today. Well, thank you for that. Says, I now live by my vetoes and choices. Delighted to hear that. Says, HOCD disappearing, and I'm doing well. Great to hear that. I'm proud of you. And says, but my brain is still rewiring from the weird porn. Yes. For that, I tell you to continue what is bringing you success. Continue rewiring your brain. It took a long time for you to fuck it up. It may take a little longer to fix it up. And for that, you need this. From patience comes victory. So continue and march on. Good for you. And Nox 10 says, male 24, Germany. Guten Tag, wie geht's heute? Says, it's been 4 months that my ex left. Congratulations. Why, you say? Because if it is a girlfriend who has not stuck around, is not being with you, it's an ex now, well, good that she's not with you, because why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you and is going to leave and is not actually providing that comfort and the relationship that you're looking for? Which means she was not the right one. She was only right for as long as she was with you. But when she's no longer offering you what you're in a relationship to receive, why do you want her to be around anyhow? So good ridden. Auf Wiedersehen, you should say, and go on for another German girl. You're in Germany. So many amazing, beautiful girls there. Are you kidding me? 24, you're on top of the world. Jesus, 24 was the age I just arrived to Canada. I went for an interview, and the secretary there, I did the interview and I came back going on the elevator, and she was in the elevator. So I got a date with her. We went out and then we were together for a bit, for a while. So it's not that easy. For 24-year-old, you've got no worries. You're just there to enjoy the ride. And I did. So it says, I feel that I moved on 80%, but yesterday I was overwhelmed by feelings. Yeah, because you're a human being. If you weren't, I would be surprised. And says, it is normal. Is it normal that it comes back like this? Yes, of course it is normal. If it didn't, I would be doubt if you're alive. You're a man. You love women and you are broken up with your girlfriend, and all those pleasures and memories, it's bound to hit you once in a while. And it's a beautiful thing, but depends how you treat it when it hits you. When it hits you, if you treat it as a regret, oh, I want it now, oh, I wish it was here, then you're going to be messed up. But if it hits you and you say, oh, yeah, I remember it was so beautiful. Oh, I appreciate that time. Great. Now I should focus on finding another woman who would give me even a better relationship because I remember how sweet that was then. You see, that was then. You kind of label it how sweet that was then. So you're aware that it is not now. So if it's not sweet as it was then, I don't want it. So you're not saying, oh, it was so sweet. I wish it was. Don't. You recognize that it was sweet memory and it was another time when she was in a different way. Now, her actuality, the way she is, the fact that this has happened, is not that what I liked. Therefore, I'm not envying it. I'm not wishing for her to come back. I don't want it. I just enjoy the memory, and that's great. So you get a little bit boost of energy, motivation, that why you want another relationship, to want to make it even better than the other one. So you're going to select better. That's how you would look at it. And that's perfectly fine. And says, how can I know that I moved on? You have moved on. When you recognize that this is a memory and it has a sweetness, and at one time it was like that, but for the reasons obvious to me, I don't want it right now. Why? Because she's not as she used to be, and what she used to be is what I liked, and she's not what she used to be, and what I liked was how she used to be, and therefore she's not how she used to be. Therefore, I don't like her the way she is. Therefore, I don't want her. But the memory of it, the way it was, it's a nice memory. That's all. Enjoy it. It's like you had a bite of a beautiful, delicious apple one day when you were in the orchard and had fun with your friends, and you took this apple and bite it, and it was delicious. And now today, 2 years later, you're remembering that day. What are you going to say? Oh, I wish that apple was here. No, it was delicious apple. It was a beautiful day. And you know what? I don't mind having another apple again. Okay, let's go to one of these supermarkets or some orchard somewhere and take an apple. That's it. Not that I want that very same apple same day. That's not possible. And why would you want it? That apple right now is not the one that you bit into it. It's actually spoiled right now. That's why you don't want that apple anymore. But you like the memory because that was sweet and that was fine. But now use it as a motivation to go and find another apple as fresh and new. And Nook says, male 24 German. Yeah, I feel need to be involved in a relationship. Yeah, great. I feel also horny. Well, that's good news. Says, I don't want my ex, but I don't feel 100% ready to give all my emotions to a new girl. Yes, you are. You will. Once you meet her, and hits you in the head that, hey, there's a life out there, and there it is. I want her. I want to be nice to her. I want to do things for her. And then suddenly you forget all this bullshit that you're just dealing with right now. Says, I think of my ex, should I wait? No. If opportunity comes, you go along. Wait for what? Also, guys, remember that I have put a link here for you all. That is the link for a group session. So the ones who cannot afford to have a one-on-one with me on Skype, you can go to this site that I'm putting the address, the link here. I have enrolled with them. You click on that and you will have 3 products. One of the products is group session. First one, hopefully, if we have enough people, enough people find out about it, it'll be on December 10th. So you can take your spot. Only 25 people can attend. And instead of the increased price that is going to be my Skype consultations one-on-one is going to be increased in price. But this one is going to be decreased in price because it's a group session. So it's $85, not US, Canadian, which is another 30% low. So it's a very good deal for people who want to be in a 2 hour, at least 2 hours group session, so you can benefit from other people's questions and situations and the answers and discussions on it. And you can ask your own questions and so on. So if you would like to join a group session, that opportunity exists now from the link that I put for you. And that's a face-to-face. It's going to be on some kind of a system that they have, like Zoom or whatever it is that they have. So we can see each other, we can talk, and it's not about typing anymore. It's like this Skype one-on-one that I have, but not one-on-one. It's like a bunch of us, maximum 25 people. Yeah, that's right, Ash. And Aman is here, 21 male, India. Thank you for that. Aman says, if I be honest, I'm being badly desperate for getting laid. That will always be the same because everybody's always desperate, because that's a good thing to get laid, as you put it. Says, and texting girls with that intention and feeling frustrates more than before. Yeah, you shouldn't have that. See, remember I just said detach yourself from the outcome. So when you're texting, just focus on a good quality of text, the effort you're making, the connection that you're having, rather than the hopefulness of I'm doing this to get that. That is the outcome. Detach yourself from that and focus only on the effort. And so then you'll enjoy it. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed because you won't always get what you're looking for with the little effort that you make. It could involve a lot more activities necessary for coming to fruition of what you're looking for. And says, frustrated more than before, feeling like I'm not worthy for any girl to get laid with me. Well, that's a wrong approach, anyhow. To approach a girl just to get laid, that's a very wrong approach. Approach a girl to get to know her, to give her a feeling of security, safety, fun, and togetherness, and compatibility, and understanding, and communication, and activities. And that should be your motivation. Now, if it leads to sex and romantic, experiences and all that, that's a welcomed byproduct, and that's great. But not with that intention, because then it's not genuine relationship seeking. It's just one track mind, which I know every one of us have that ultimately in mind. That's the purpose of all wanting to get to know a girl. You're hoping for furthering that experience, but it shouldn't be the one and only thing and the main focus of you for that relationship. You should be focusing on the humanity of her, on who she is. What is her consciousness like? How can you be compatible? What things you can learn and offer to each other? And that would be a good foundation to eventually, maybe naturally, you will both be willing to further your experience in a romantic setting. But going with that, it's a mistake. It affects the quality of that connection, and in a negative way, I think. You may have that in mind, but not, promoting it in a way that's the only thing that you're trying to accomplish there. That's a negative approach. Aman says, second question is that I feel I have low testosterone and I feel sad mostly. Can I increase testosterone naturally, and does it really increase? Yeah, it does. There's lots of things you can do. Exercise, good nutrition, you can find that out. There are different herbs that actually stimulate the natural secretion of testosterone. And so you got to find all that. Do your research and credible research. And there are lots of credible people who are not just selling snake oil. It's actually, it's got, uh, histories that these particular things, supplements work. If you go to a reputable supplement store and they can help you, or you just research it on computer and find out what are these products that are all natural and no side effects and whatnot, you find them and then you go and acquire them from a health food store and do that. And Ash says, I guess you want to know what it means. Huh? Any excuse to flex your guns again, huh? Actually, I wouldn't want to flex my guns now because I haven't been in the gym for 20 days. And so last night I started again with a very low weight training. So my guns are actually pretty deflated until maybe a couple of weeks from now. Yeah, I was coughing for quite a while. Dry cough, no fever, no fatigue or anything, but just didn't feel like going to the gym. And this cough wasn't fun. So I went to my doctor as a routine thing, and he said, no, it's just a virus going around, and everybody is dealing with something, but it'll go away by itself. And it did. It went away, so I'm not coughing anymore, but my voice is still a little bit coldish. So I started yesterday gently, and it was fun, very relaxed, lightweight, little pull down, little biceps, little, you know, for the shoulders. That was it, you know. Mostly was socializing, just talking with friends there in the gym. So Phoenix says, hello, I broke up with my ex. Since then, I talked to her a couple of times about my feelings. I did not do it during the relationship, and she gets angrier. All I want is to be understood. But she refuses that and blames me 100% for the breakup. But the reality is different. What should I do? Nothing. Don't give a damn. Just move on. Male 23, Phoenix, LT. Yeah, usually most women, not all, most women would like to blame the guy for the breakup. And that is just the narrative that they use, regardless of what they have done. They want to say, oh, it was your fault that you made me, you pushed me to do this, even if it's something really serious that they've done. They want to blame it. So don't buy into that. Just say, okay, I'm sure I made mistakes, but I'm sure you made mistakes, but that's what relationships are all about, to learn about each other and compromise and see if we can fix it or not. And obviously we couldn't, so have a nice evening or day and have a nice life. And I'm sorry I couldn't be a better boyfriend for you, because I guess maybe you weren't a great girlfriend for me. Maybe that didn't bring that best of me out, if you really want a zinger. But don't just say, okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day. It doesn't matter what she says. It's not important if she understands or not. The truth doesn't change. The fact doesn't change. Doesn't matter how she wraps it up or, um, gift wrap it or however she covers it up. It's one thing. You know it. You know whatever you did for as a reaction or an action, or that's how much you knew. You didn't know any better, and whatever she did as an action, reaction, or that was as much as she knew. So nobody is Aristotle or a thinker. You just did what you did at the age that you are, and that's all you knew, and that's basically fine. No problem. You don't owe her anything, and she can do whatever she wants, and you respect that, and you can do whatever you want, and you respect yourself as well. And M23 Phoenix LT says, I'm currently doing fine, fixing my life and trying to achieve my goal. Excellent. Continue that. Don't deviate from that. That's the most important one. These things come and go. You're 23-year-old, for God's sake. You hardly know who you are exactly as far as, your characteristics, your values, whatever you're looking for, type of thing, let alone knowing what kind of girl you're looking for. Could be this kind of girl or a different kind of girl. Maybe 5 years from now, when you know more about yourself, your standards will be a little bit more strict and you will expect a different kind of woman with different kind of qualities. So at the moment, these things are just exercises, experiments. And 23 years old, that's the time to warm up games. So these are all that. They all look serious because, you're 23 and we love women. And so it's an opportunity to be with a woman and it's very serious to you. But in fact, in the grand scheme of things, is not the most serious thing at the moment. It's supposed to be taken as serious as you can at your age, but not thinking that this is the most serious one all throughout your life. Because all throughout your life, you haven't been there, you haven't gone there, you don't know what's awaiting you, and all those other things that is awaiting you could be way different than this kind of quality of girl, and you would be preferring a different kind of woman altogether. Because at this time, your expectation at age 23 is that. But 28 years old, 30 years old, your expectations from a woman would be with a lot more credentials and qualities. So this is fine. Accept it. Not a problem. Don't have to explain or make her understand this or that. It doesn't make you better or worse. You are who you are, and that's just that. And perfectly fine. The leader says it would be really great if you save your live streams after they finish and keep them on the channel. They have so much valuable information. Yeah, we have. We have all the live streams on the channel, and these are automatically go there. So all you have to do is go to my channel and click on live. You will see all of that, hundreds and hundreds of live streams. They're all there, so you can enjoy them. You know, I would have liked to see Spotify to pick this up and promote it because I've got hundreds and hundreds of live stream of 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 1 hour, and people can listen to it. And there's always question and answer, and it's good quality stuff. Um, Aman says, "Damn, lol, date with secretary." Mehran. Mehran is real. What? OG. What is it? OG is what? Old guard? Uh, my HR lady of my company is so blushy around me. I should try to ask her out at a workplace. All right. uh, all right. So looks like that. Okay. Okay. That's that. We have column Haig or Haig. I don't know how to pronounce that. Says, "Hi, Maran, 27 years old from England." Says, "My brain feels so foggy and I feel on edge and unable to relax whenever the intrusive thoughts appear. It's scaring me and it's making me terrified." Column, because despite of all the hours and hundreds of hours and the videos that have expressed my research on it, you haven't focused, or obviously you're not necessarily focusing and remembering the main point in recovering from OCD and OCD subsets such as HOCD and whatnot. And that is that when you say whenever the intrusive thoughts appear, it's scaring me, is because you don't make me terrified, is because you don't remember or focus on the fact that it's the brain's thoughts. It's not you. It's like you're watching a movie and you're telling me, oh, that movie, that scene scares the shit out of me. Yeah. But as soon as you remember that it's a movie, you're not in it, it's a story, it's a movie, it's not you. You're just subject to the screen. You're seeing what's on the screen, but it's not you. Somebody else made it. It's not you. Did I say it's not you? Because you got to focus on that part. It's not you. It's the brain's thought. And you are separate from the brain. Brain is not you. You are not the brain. It's a separate system. You, as a species, lived millions of years before this brain was added to you as something that existed long before this brain was given to you. Only 40,000 years ago, this brain, the ability to think and speak, was given to you. Where were you before then? You survived, you existed perfectly well without any hitch. Why? Because there was no ability to think or speak. Words had no meanings and thinking was not there. So there was no intrusion of any kind, because the intrusions and all that is not you, is the brain's making. And before we had this brain, we had no problem. We had no OCD, because these are all thought based. Yeah? We had no OCD. We had no HOCD. We had none of these, because these are all malfunction of the signaling system of the brain, overactiveness of the amygdala, and the interference of the neurotransmitters or whatever it causes it in the function of the components of the brain, specifically in basal ganglia, in the striatum, where reward center, goal finding center, and habit center are all on top of each other. And when caudate nucleus malfunctions, which its function is automatically to shut down the intrusive thoughts, when it malfunctions and it doesn't shut down the intrusive thoughts, because everybody has intrusive thoughts, brain is making intrusive thoughts, all kinds of thoughts, 80, 90,000 thoughts a day, every day for everybody on this earth. But caudate nucleus is supposed to shut it down when it recognizes this is intrusive thought, not in line with your values as you keep sacred certain principles and values. It shuts it down. When it doesn't shut it down, when it's malfunctioning, the intrusive thought hovers and lingers. And when it lingers, you forget that this is the brain's malfunction. You think because it lingers, it must mean something. And because the brain is powerful and can make through thoughts and suggestions body to react, that's its job. It's very powerful. And the reaction of the body that is induced by the brain because of these thoughts, it becomes an evidence to you that it must be right. But it's got nothing to do with it being correct or truth or fact or right. It just has to do with the power of the brain that can influence the body to react based on a certain suggestion and thoughts that it can, and it has the power to do so. When you remember all these, when you remember that you're not the brain and brain is not you, and these intrusive thoughts are brain's manufacturing product, then you will not be terrified. You will not be scared, because you can always live and move through life by your choices and vetoes, as brain's thoughts on its own cannot make you do anything, can suggest to you, can force on it, can make you believe it's you, but in reality, it is only you that can make and allow any kind of these thoughts or suggestions of the brain can ever see the light of day and become an actuality, become an action in the real actual life, or your lack of attention to it and knowing what it is, letting it just die by the wayside by not paying any attention to it or knowing what it is. So you're above the brain. There are aspects of mind in you, according to all the experience of the brilliant neuroscientists and neurosurgeons, Dr. Sperry, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owen, Dr. Libet. There are aspects of the mind in you that the brain cannot even reach. And in the time of you vetoing something, all the experiments through the magnetic probing while they're doing the experiments in the brain showed that the brain is not even involved. When you make the decision to veto something, brain is oblivious. So brain is below you. You trump brain. It cannot reach you. It cannot make you do things. You're the ultimate decision maker. You judge brain's secretions. You judge brain's suggestions. You judge brain's thoughts. Yeah, not the other way around. It can make thoughts. It can influence the body. It's very powerful. But you ultimately are the only one in this entity that can make choices and vetoes on any suggestions, whether it's a brain or somebody out in the street. Same thing. Same thing. So, hope that will help you out. And we go to Rosalind Mooney. On that note, I'll take a 1-minute break and I'll be right back. Just want to open that window and have a sip of tea. So just enjoy this for about 1 to 2 minutes. All right, we're back. So my question is that why is it that we have 10 people here and only 1 like? What the hell's wrong with you guys? Come on, everybody, hit the like. We want to actually help YouTube to make us more, promote us or at least notice. What is that 1? Come on, I want to see 10 right away. Chop, chop. And I still see 1. What happened to you guys? Click on the like, for God's sake. And Steven says, do you guys hear me or am I talking to myself? I still see 1 thumbs up. Is that really your reaction on this whole live stream? Got 14 people here, 1 thumbs up. Come on. Steven says, I keep wondering what she's doing. Well, don't wonder. She has her legs all opened up and somebody's ramming her like a turkey, stuffing her. This is what you should do. Because when you go beyond the fear of what thoughts can come to your head about it, you just got to go ahead of it and beat it to come up with all the things that could be possibly she be doing right now. So you won't wonder anymore. What do you think she is? She's going to church and praying in a convent with someone? No, she's getting it right up her ass. You got to be okay with that because she's not your girlfriend anymore. She can do whatever she wants. And you holding yourself hostage to her behavior is detrimental to your health and to your well being and balance. You got to stop thinking of her as a saint that she's waiting for you to prove yourself to her. No, stop blaming yourself for anything. When a girl leaves a relationship, she's not leaving it because there was one glitch here or two glitch here or a little problem here. She would be talking about it if it is a real problem. But when there is not a real problem, but she's got her head somewhere else and she has decided for whatever reason she wants to jump ship, then she will just go like she did. So it wasn't like you had any problem that you caused. If there was a problem and she was interested in a relationship, a normal relationship, people in a relationship would talk about this so called whatever it is that is hindering the relationship, the problem, shortcomings, whatever it may be. But it wasn't her style, was it? She just pretended that she wants a space because she's already chosen somebody else to mingle with. And she used that to soften the blow. But it was her doing. It wasn't your doing. It wasn't because you, but she was able to get into your head to make it look like and make you think like that it's your fault. And that's why you're chasing any reason. What else could I have done? What different thing I could have done so this wouldn't happen? That's because you think this happened because of you. It didn't happen because of you. It happened because of her. But she's putting it on you so she can feel fine that she didn't do anything wrong. She didn't break a relationship and she would be thought of good. And idiots like you will fall for that and believe her. But if you want to be objective and realistic, you can see that if there was a problem in a good relationship, the couples would talk about the problem. You tried to talk to her. She wasn't listening, meaning it wasn't you, it was her. And when it's her, you have no control on that. And when you have no control on that, it means it's not you. Hmm? If it's not you, it's her. And if it's her, you have no control on it. And what you have no control on it, it's not you. Simple. So she didn't talk about it. You tried to talk about it. She didn't want to listen. She just used excuses. And that's the story. But you want to hang in there and think about these things, what she's doing and whatnot. Well, that's why you're where you are. And you keep thinking about it hurts. There are real things that hurts people in life. And you're calling this hurt. That means you don't have a real point of reference. You got to fix that. Otherwise, not having a proper judgment and point of reference and able to balance things and compare things in life is going to ruin you, is going to give you misjudgment to the point that you will not have fun and you will not be realistic appreciating your life. You'll be thinking about things that is not your responsibility and you want to fix things that is not your responsibility and you're going to just weather and go nuts for no reason. You have a choice. Your choice is to be miserable like you are, or your choice is the world is out there, nothing is wrong. She's living her life, and you can live your life, and there's so many other opportunities there, and you choose to be happy and strive and flourish and bring your plans to fruition. That's your choice. You want to choose to be miserable? Be miserable. Keep making appointments with me, pay $100, and that's fine. That's my job. But it's not necessary for you to be sitting and sulking for something that you have no control on and it's not your doing, and you're not supposed to be so baffled by it and trying to solve somebody else's shortcomings. It's just not realistic, right? So you have a choice. Exercise your choice. You're sitting around hoping that something that you want to come to be, even though you're not in control of that, and even though it wasn't your fault that this thing happened that way, even if it was your fault, which wasn't, you're hanging up on something that you shouldn't be worried about. This is life. And this is the simplest thing, simplest challenge in life is a breakup. You may not see it now, but you're old enough to see it. Yeah. I expressed with you the experience that I had a few days ago. And those are real serious challenges that you can't do anything about. And it's just the way life is. So shape up, get off your ass, and go make a life. Come on, it's a choice. In this sort of thing, it's a choice. Be thankful that you're in some kind of a challenge, that you have a choice to be out of it or not. There are other problems in life, health problems, life problems, that is not in your hand, and you have no choice, and you can't do a darn thing for the loved ones or for yourself or for your pet. And they're so innocent, and you can't do anything about it. Those are devastating. Those are things that even in such situation we're supposed to be going on. Let alone these sort of things. These are child's play that you're actually hanging on to. What are you going to do if there's a real problem someday? Hmm? So you better learn and make a choice and be happy and live life, and that's as good a thing as you can do. Life is short. Don't waste it like that. That's what I have to say about that. And all right. Guys, do you not hear me? I see only one like. Why is that? Don't you like? If you don't like, just leave for God's sake. But if you do like, click on like. I want to see that thumb. I can see there's only one. It should be like 12. Come on now. I'm sure you guys didn't pay a cover charge here, so might as well click on the like. It's not so hard. Kuro says, "Oh yes, I made it. I'm on a break at work, but I made it." All right. 26 male. Is it Canada or California? Either way, thank you for being here. What makes acceptance so hard, Stevens, you ask? What makes acceptance so hard is your choice. That's all. Your ego, your desire for pleasure, your lack of understanding that opportunity for relationships exists all the time, your impatience to know before something happens stops you from accepting because you only believe something that you see or you know. And if you don't see the girls lining up, or you don't know that you're going to meet some girl, you don't believe it. And because you don't believe it, you get stuck on the old story. So don't wait for believing. Understand that there are lots of things that you can't see, you don't know, but it will happen. No difference than standing in front of the ocean and you see There are no ships. So you said there are no ships in the ocean. No, there are ships in the ocean, just not in your field of vision. You can't see it because they're far away, but they're on their way. Eventually, they arrive to the point that your eyes can see it. The distance will allow you, it will be in your field of vision and you'll see it. But just because you don't see it doesn't mean there's no ship in the ocean. Just because you don't know doesn't mean that there's no girl that you're going to meet. But if that's your assumption, that's a very stupid assumption in life. Then how can you live? How can you go on with anything? Because there's everything that you don't know, but you're making efforts in order to bring it to a certain kind of a result. But until that result comes along, you don't know. So if you don't know, then you don't believe it and you shouldn't be making any effort at all because you don't know. That's chicken and the egg thing. You're supposed to put the effort and towards the goal that you're looking for. But you say, because I don't see the goal, I'm not going to put the effort. Well, then you'll never see the goal. And that's what you're going by. And you keep repeating the same shit to the point that nothing else comes to your mind. You're constantly convinced that this is the way it is. This should come back. Otherwise, I don't know. That's silly. You're going to change your understanding to accept something of this nature, which is a relationship, for God's sake, nothing more. It's a choice. Believe in the universe, believe in the world, believe in there are other people alive, the other people are existing. So you're going to run into them. But you don't have patience, so you can't do anything about it if you don't have patience. Because that's going to ruin you. Even if you want to go and order food, you got to wait for the food to be ready. But what are you going to say? Oh, I don't see the food in front of me, so therefore they don't have food. I can't sit here. I don't know what to do. That's your attitude. You sit in a place that food is available and it will be ready, it will be brought to you. You're in a world that what you're looking for is abundant, and through time and through exercises and through encounters, negotiating life day to day, this will happen. But just because you don't know it, that doesn't mean you should know everything. And if you don't know it, therefore, I'm going to be terrified. That's your choice. Don't exercise that choice. Steven says, yes, that makes lots of sense. Thank you. You're welcome. Slidden says, from patience comes victory. Yes, you're right. And Mindful Spirit says 26 male, Chicago. Thank you for that. And Phoenix LT says, one last thing. I feel like I want to be in a relationship, but I don't want to talk to other girls right now. Just don't feel ready currently. Should I just give it some time? Yeah, but how long time? What's going to happen? It's a choice. It's in your head. That time that you're looking for is in your head. But you're looking for an answer. You want to analyze it, find out what happened, why this happened, why should it happen to me? And all that you think is going to take time. Well, why would logic have anything to do with time? You think about it, you figure it out, say, okay, fuck it, I can't do anything about it. I'm not in control of it. There are many other things in life. So therefore, okay, fair enough. I go on and change my life and figure out new things in my life, and I look for a new relationship. That's it. Now, you want to wait? Go ahead, wait. But that's because you are waiting to forget. And forgetting to you means I'm ready. But in fact, there's no difference between now and later on. Just the fact that it won't be in your head so much, or the problem of you'll be waiting longer and you'll be constantly ruminating on it and it'll become a habit, and then it will be longer. So I'm still not ready. I'm still not ready, because in the meantime, you're thinking about it more and more, making it more and more of a habit, and becomes more and more difficult to get rid of it. So you'll always be waiting. I'm saying, fuck the waiting. Understand this is part of life. Relationships break up. So what? She wasn't the only girl in town. The hell with it. Didn't work out. Well, okay. Sorry about that. But I go on. Then you go on. Don't wait around for anything. And Ash says, Mehran, I have a question. Not sure what the question is yet, as there is a fucking laundry list of issues to pick from. Also, you've got 15 likes on the video, So your PC is obviously slow. Oh, okay. It doesn't show here at all. Okay, that's good. And Mindful Spirit says, can I ask a question from my experience? Yeah, go ahead. Sunshine. Okay. So, Mindful, you wanted to ask a question. Where's the question? Okay. Yes. Ash says, with patience comes victory, Marin. Yes, that's correct. Okay, looks like we don't have any more questions. I don't see them. How come the questions are not coming? I thought there are more questions. I thought somebody's thought mindful spirit and Stephen says, I turned 43 in a month. I take good care of myself and look younger than people younger than me. But that's what worries me because I feel like I need to find someone soon. Really? Don't think that way. You're putting pressure on yourself, something that you're not in control of. You're not in control of the events and when and how you're going to meet someone, but you're putting that as a prerequisite for you to be happy, which is going to hinder your chances to be happy. You're coming up with questions that it's got nothing to do with you being in control of them or the timetable of them. So you're causing problem for yourself with this mentality. You got to change your mentality about this whole dealing of what you're doing. All the bullshit that we went through, all the meetings that we had on Skype, we've recorded many of them, I guess, or some of them. Watch them. Or these are questions that I'm discussing with you here. They're all recorded so you can watch them. You got to change your mentality about the approach and the angles that you look at this thing. You're putting so much pressure and expectations of knowing what the future holds on yourself. And because you don't know it at the moment, what the future holds, well, the future is not here yet. How could you be knowing about it? And because you don't know, you say, I can't be happy. Well, then fuck you. If that's what your reasoning is, well, that's on you. What she did and she left, it's on her. But you're believing that is on you. But this fucking thing that is actually on you, the way you're treating the whole, yourself and your expectations and all that, you're not noticing that. Figure it out. Change your understanding of this whole thing. All right. You said it, Ash. Ash says, Stephen, look at Mehran. The guy is in his 60s. God damn it, I can't believe it. Soon it's going to be 70. I'm 67. The girls hear it, I won't have a chance. I will. The hell with them. They don't want it. They can go find somebody else better than me. That's not possible. Stephen, Ash says, Stephen, look at Mehran. He's in his 60s. Look healthy and well. Is dating hot bitches still? You're still young, man. He's right. You're putting unnecessary pressure on yourself. There we go. And Phoenix LT says the reason why I wanted to give time after the breakup before looking for a new relationship is that I have some stuff to fix in my life, like getting more fit and finishing my university. Fine, but you can't constantly wait until everything that you want is in place before you go after, because you may be missing opportunities of a wonderful girl who really is not so uh, hung up on how you exactly should or could look versus the compatibility on the consciousness level that you guys might actually be able to accomplish. So while you're doing and attending what to your goals to getting fit and finishing your university, you can also have your eyes and ears open and be alert. And if there's an opportunity with a good relationship, well, bring balance to your life. You cannot control events. Yeah? What if it takes longer for you to get fit? What if, God forbid, just university or simple that university stuff makes it not easily for you to attend to your fitness? And you got to be doing that. Yeah. What if you want to study more? All that is going to cause you put something behind. It's like saying, I wait till I'm a millionaire to give to the poor. Well, you wait that long, by the time you're a millionaire, the poor is dead out of hunger. You got to do what you can right now. You can give $1, give $1. You say, no, I wait until I can afford to give $1,000. I said, the hell with that. Today is the guy who's hungry. With $1, he can buy maybe some kind of a bread. But you say, I want to give him a great steak. And until then, there'll be maybe a few years and he's going to die from hunger. Give him the $1. Don't wait till you're rich to give to the poor. Give to the poor if you can now, whatever you can, 5 cents. Same thing. Live your life in balance. I wait until I am fit. And that, what are you fucking presenting yourself? A beauty pageant to a girl? They're not looking for what we're looking in them. They're looking for someone who's treating them decent. He's a gentleman. He can provide and he can be a decent guy. We're looking for the beauty and their looks and so on because that's how we're put together. We're visual. We're put together in that way. That's how we're, seeking our mate. They're looking for different qualities. Yeah, they don't mind if you're fit and educated and so on and so forth, but they can expect that from you to accomplish in time. You can do that while you're with, in a relationship of some kind. Doesn't have to be heavy, something. Now, my eyes have seen the reflection of light so much, I can't even see what's written here anymore. So, once you guys hang on for 1 minute or 2 minutes, just watch this for a second so I can close the window, curtains, and be able to read. All right. That's a little bit better. I can see something. All right. All right. So Mindful Spirit says, can't seem to get over this. It wasn't bothering me at first. Well, again, you want to go forward? Look, let's say you're on a journey, an expedition, and you're trying to see new developments of Earth crust or whatever it is that you're searching or your mission is. Can you see anything further in this search if you don't abandon the position that you're standing on? Can you find more things if you keep standing on where you're standing? You've examined the crust at that moment, you found all the minerals and made a report on it, but can you find further about that whole area that you're trying to examine further onwards if you keep staying on that very location that you've already finished whatever it was that you were studying on it? Can you advance further if you stay where you are? No. So, what is it that you expect that you can actually change things, bring new things in your life if you're not taking a step to go forward to find new things where they are? Instead, you're trying to find the new things where you are, which there are no new things, and the old thing is even not there. Can you see what I'm trying to say here, guys? Stephen, Mindful Spirit, all of you. You are expecting an impossible in any logic, and you're not willing to do the right thing to get what you're looking for. You want to sit on your ass and sulk and cry, but yet you want to find new things and a new relationship and happiness. It's no different than saying you're standing where you are and you will find new things without furthering, advancing, and taking a step forward and going toward the north or south or east or west, wherever it is, to find more valued information about the Earth's crust or whatever it is that you're researching. It just doesn't make sense. Now it's up to you. It's a choice. You want to sit there, sit there. Nooks says, male 24 Germany says, I don't know why I feel that my ex. Oh, I meant you, Nooks, not Mindful Spirit. I guess I got the names wrong and the cases wrong. Says, I feel that my ex's new boyfriend is better than me. Well, that's your feeling because you're not focusing on you. Nobody can be better than you because you're unique like everybody else is on their own, but you don't compare yourself with anybody. You think that way just because the girl is with him? So in other words, so what is it that the girl was with you, then you were better than everybody else? So she is the measuring stick for who is better than the other in this world. So whoever is with her is top of the world, and whoever is not with her must be a miserable person in the world. I bet you there are more people who are not with her than there is people who are with her. So all those other people in the world that are not with her, they're scumbags. they're not as good as her boyfriend. Is that how it is? Because her pussy is made out of gold, that if you enter, suddenly you have the wisdom of the ages and you become very wealthy and knowledgeable and become master of the universe. Is that what her pussy is all about? It's very magical pussy. So on what basis is it that somebody else is better than you because she has chosen them? So she's the actually superior maker by opening her legs for somebody or opening her heart for somebody. That person elevates, and the ones that she leaves, they sink. What kind of logic is that? Where's your values? In somebody else's choices? That's where your values is instead of being in your choices? Okay, you deserve a visit from my ugly stick and beat the crap out of you so you'll know you're talking nonsense. Yeah, so I just gave you the answer. Says, how can I handle this? I know that my values are independent from that shit. Well, there we go. You got to lodge. You got to use the logic. Don't give a shit. All right. You guys know that I do have a one-on-one consultation on Skype. All right. Mindthatseekstruth.com. www.mindthatseekstruth.com. That's where you go, make an appointment with for us to discuss what's concerning you, whether it's OCD or relationship breakup, one-on-one on Skype. Because I can only do so much here. And before the rates on my site increases, right now it's $100 per hour, US, but pretty soon I'm going to add it, bring it to $250 or $200 per hour because it's just silly cheap. So take advantage from it before it goes up. If you like, if you need to talk to me, go on my site, make an appointment, and we'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. And if you did notice what I said, I have an opportunity. I've signed up with a system that you can have group session up to 25 people for over 2 hours, that everybody can ask their questions and share other people's questions and hear the other issues and answer to those issues, discussions. And it will be not US, it will be Canadian. That means 30% cheaper. And it's not $200, it's $85. So you guys can choose to join that. And I put that link in there. And therefore, and here's the link again. So you can try it out. If you have enough people that have heard about it and they signed up, then we'll have that meeting. December 10th is supposed to be the one, Vancouver time. And the timing will be announced, I guess, as soon as I have numbers in there. Yeah, I guess. All right. And Phoenix LT says, thank you very much for your answers. Good, sir. You're quite welcome. And we have Saud of Shotgun. Saud of Shotgun said, 20 male Sri Lanka. So, sir, my current girlfriend is very loyal, caring, and sweet. But for some reason, I get anxious thinking about commitment and often question my feelings. I feel we aren't compatible. No, it's not about compatibility. At this age, you're not want to have commitment for anybody. You're 20 years old. You hardly have enough a job. Maybe you haven't finished university. Maybe, and of course, these things are in your head. You don't know how to feed yourself when if you're living independent from your parents, let alone having a commitment. So instead of thinking about the future and outcome, just enjoy the girlfriend and be together for now. You don't need to commit to her. Just tell her that, honey, I'm just having a great time with you, but I'm sure we'll just have to finish our universities and things to see where we go, where we are. I got to get a job. So, you know, if you think that's something you may not be interested in, I just want to let you know. But in my opinion, there's no need to talk about these things when it's, you haven't told her that I'm going to marry you. So why do you have to keep saying, that I'm not going to marry you? What the hell, what for? Might as well tell her, let's break up. Why you want to do that? You think there's somebody else out there? At age 20, you're not going to be happy with just one girl for a long time anyhow. But don't let that ruin the experience that you can have with this girl and find compatibility in the consciousness level. But right now, your consciousness is still being developed instead of expecting, it doesn't fit my consciousness, because your consciousness is still not what it will be in 5, 6 years, 7 years from now. And it will still dynamically continue expanding and developing. So stop making it as if you should know who you're going to be marrying at the moment, how she should be, how compatible you should be. All that question is unnecessary. You're 20-year-old, just have a girlfriend, enjoy her, be nice to her, be gentleman, just see where it goes. If you guys are still together a year from now, you are. You're not, you're not. Most probably it's going to break up in a few years. But until then, you don't have to, jump the gun. Just enjoy your life. All right. Son of Shotgun says, even though most of the time I spend with her is fun and entertaining, she's a bit below my expectations in terms of looks. Could it be that her easy availability is turning me off? Yes. Same look. If she wouldn't give a shit about you, wouldn't give you a time of day, you'd be running after her shoes and hoping that she will say hello to you. But she's made herself available. She's gracious and she's not, playing games. And suddenly, and at this time, you say she's below your expectation. You're 20 years old. I wonder how you look like. How fit are you? How rich are you? Listen, a pretty girl, a beauty in a girl is like, wealth in a guy, because they're not really necessarily that hung up on how we look, although it's interesting and it's important to them as well. But it's just the fact that if you're wealthy, it is like a, beauty on a girl. And for us, that's how they look at it. It's kind of has its own place. But you expecting that she is not within my expectations of look. But where are you in the expectations that you think they would be having from you? Are you offering everything that you expect from her? The good looks, the money, and all these other things, and the security and provide. You're 20 years old. You probably, like any normal kid at 20 years old, don't have pot to piss in. And she is who she is. You're having fun with her. You say that. You enjoy the feeling that she gives you. And yet you're not appreciating that. And you're just looking at somebody better looking. What if she's better looking, but she's got a shitty personality? And if she's really that good looking, she would probably be looking for somebody, I don't know, wealthy or whatever, all fit and whatever, the whole thing will change. Unless you have gotten your act together and you're sportish, you're very fit and you're very wealthy and you're very educated, your university is all done and you got a good job and all that, and you think it's time for you to get married, and this is not exactly the package you're looking for, then we can talk about it. But you're 20 years old and you're going to a university, probably, and she's at the age that she is, and she's being a just regular, normal girl. Why don't you appreciate it and let the nature take its course and see where it goes? If you guys still together a couple of years from now, well, that's great. If you're not, well, then you had a good experience together, and you were a gentleman, you were good to her, you were having good feelings, and it didn't work out. Okay, fair enough. But you don't have to have a contract for everything. I got to let her know that I'm not going to marry her. Well, she didn't say that she wants you to marry her, otherwise she won't be nice to you. These are some things you can discuss later, but I don't think you should put that kind of a condition on a relationship at this stage and at this age. But anyhow, if you don't think you're not you think you're not interested in her, well, okay, break up and go and chase whatever it is that you want to chase. But don't come back to her and hurt her again and again and again because you couldn't find somebody, so you want to go back to her because you're going to miss her. Make up your mind and don't play with girls that way. And Mindful Spaces think I'm going to do a one-on-one with you to go more in detail. That's fine. Sure. Why not? Ash says, Meron, what is the cure for loneliness? Well, beside the obvious, make efforts to not be lonely. If loneliness to you means to be with other people, find new friends, be a little bit easier to be interactive with people. When you go to gym, you see if there is, just chit chat naturally, as everybody would eventually through time say hello to this and that. The hello becomes a little bit, how was your day? And later on becomes, it doesn't matter if it's a boy or girl, but you just talk with people and realize that there is an indirect kind of a support and connection with other people, other human beings, other living beings. And so that conversation, as short and light as it may be, it gives you a certain kind of a feeling that, okay, I've got people that I know. So if I really feel lonely one day, I know there's a gym or there's a place that I hang around. Don't hang around in bars. Don't make your friends in bars. Those are drinking buddies. That's bullshit. That's going to ruin you. Find it in sporting arenas. I don't know, bowling, or I don't know, um, basketball. You sign up for some uh, community centers, uh, badminton, basketball, volleyball, soccer, some team, some activities, or some chess, maybe some chess club, things that you like. You got to create that kind of an activity, positive activity around you, so you can feel, okay, there are things that I kind of can draw on, resources I can draw on. And in that way, you're not feeling what you're feeling, because uh, feeling alone is exactly that, just feeling alone. But in reality, we are not alone, because we can make it not be alone by making certain changes in our lives, be more sociable, less stuck up or um, discriminating. So it'll open up more doors. More people can feel that you're approachable, and you make the first step and make friends. And it says, I don't mean for being alone. Solitude is sometimes good for the soul and can be enjoyed. I mean to feel truly alone because it is mental issue. Well, again, being alone mentally, it's a suggestion of the brain that gives you a suggestion that you're alone. Just as you deal with OCD, any intrusive thought, being alone is considered as intrusive thoughts, in my opinion. And you can apply the 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz to it as when a suggestion of intrusive thoughts, such as the brain says, you're alone. So you relabel it, step 1. That means I'm feeling lonely today. Suggestion of the brain, intrusive thought comes in that I'm alone. You relabel it. I feel alone right now. I feel alone right now. I'm feeling alone right now. Because just because a suggestion is made by the brain, it's not a fact. It's a suggestion. So you relabel it. It's not written in stone. It's a suggestion of a thought that the brain has made. I'm not the brain. Brain is not me. But brain has said that. So I'm interpreting it. I'm relabeling it. It says, you're alone or you feel alone. I'm feeling alone right now. Then you reframe it. Meaning, you say, I'm feeling alone, or I'm really living in a world that there's no one but me, and I'm truly have no one to interact with. You're reframing it. You're giving it a meaning. No, there are other people around. I'm not really alone. I feel alone. So I'm feeling alone now. But feeling alone doesn't mean that I'm actually living in a world that there's nobody else. There are cars out there, there are people. So actually, I'm not alone. So when you did that, the step 1, reframing, and then naturally you focus on putting your full attention and mindfulness, which brought you to this point, that what the suggestion was is something that you feel right now, not in general. And then you went on and reframed it as it's a feeling, not real fact, because there are other people. You reframed it. I'm living in a world that there are many other people. And now that I'm aware with mindfulness of this fact that this narrative, I've changed the narrative, and I'm going to now focus my attention fully, mindfulness, on a positive activity. So I'm switching over, having recognized, realized, identified this for what it is, and changed the narrative of it, understood it, explained it, discussed it with my wise advocate. When I reframe it, I said, am I alone? Or is it I'm living in a world that nobody else exists? But actually, they do. So I reframed it after I discussed it with my wise advocate, with my wisdom, and I noticed my awareness tells me, oh, no, actually, it's a world, lots of things happening. And then now, after this recognition, I switch the energy to something positive activity that I want to accomplish that day. You might decide that, okay, I want to now go play music, or I want to go and go have some tea or coffee out there, or I'm going to do accomplish that particular task. Okay? So you switch that energy and that narrative to something positive. So you move away from that to something positive that gives you understanding that I'm active, I'm able to accomplish something, and I'm putting my time into something positive. That brings you to reevaluate. And that happens automatically because you're now, through neuroplasticity, you're moving away from these negative thoughts by going through the 4 steps. Well, I do have this video that I made out of it for you guys just recently. And I want you guys to watch it if you haven't. It is called Explaining Dr. Schwartz the 4-Step for OCD Sufferers, based on his own video on the topic. And I made an effort to make this very clear for you guys. And here's the thingy. Did you get it? I'm looking for something for you guys. Okay. Anyhow, I put that there for you guys. You can't find what I'm looking for. So you guys can use it. Let's see. And then, that would explain to you exactly how you rewire your brain, and through neuroplasticity you go on. Once you go through the 3 steps of the 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz, yeah, then revaluation happens automatically. Once you continue this way of thinking, then you hardwire it that it will happen automatically. Not necessarily you have to go through the 4 steps. It just happens. You attach the cognitive abilities to your habit center, and therefore this will happen automatically rather than you go through the steps of relabeling, reframing, reevaluating, and so on. However, the sequence goes. Just one moment. Let me find out something for you here. Yeah. So just because when you keep doing it automatically, then the relabel and the reframe and refocus, when you change your focus from this, once you realize it, to doing something positive that you want to accomplish, so you refocus, take focus away from here, put the focus somewhere else in that energy, then revalue, which is the fourth step, happens automatically. So you focus on the relabel, explaining what you're feeling. You focus on reframing, which you change the narrative of it and discuss it with your wise advocate about this suggestion of the brain, and you come to clear understanding what it is. And then you refocus it to a new activity, a positive activity that you can accomplish. It could be just as simple as having tea or something very simple. It doesn't have to be elaborate. And then the fourth step, revalue, falls into place automatically. It's like the part of the jigsaw puzzle that you put all three parts together. The fourth one, it's natural, just falls by itself. It completes itself. So that's what you want to be doing. All right. All right. I think we just got what we wanted to get. So let's see where we are. So I think I was able to find what I was looking for. So let's see what else we have here. Mindful Spirit says, what about real event OCD? Same first step. Is the Dr. Schwartz's first step is about all kinds of OCD. Orlando 45, Albuquerque, New Mexico says, after my separation from my ex about 2 months ago, I've been trying to become better and started going to the gym and meditating. I also read books on attraction and confidence. Excellent. He says, I also follow your channel and have watched so many of your videos, which have been helpful. I even talked to girls at the gym today, but it's hard sometimes to be confident after a breakup. It may seem sometimes, but again, you can apply the 4 steps to it. When you don't feel comfortable when you're in front of the girl, quickly, after a while, it becomes automatic. You relabel it. I don't feel confident right now. I'm feeling not so confident right now. So you recognize what brain is saying, and then you follow it. This is not me. This is the brain. This is not me. This is the brain. So you relabel it. I don't feel so confident right now. Then you reframe it by discussing with your wise advocate, your awareness. Say, am I actually not able to be confident? Or it's just a feeling of not being confident? Suddenly you realize, hey, it's a feeling not being confident. I've been confident. I know what to be confident. It's a feeling that is affecting me because of my breakup and all that. So it's not me. It's the brain that's inducing this feeling or having an opinion about this whole thing. Not that I am like this. So you change the narrative. Now, when you're wise to this, that this is a suggestion of the brain, and it's not that I can't be confident, it's that at this moment, because of this is what's happening. That's a brain suggestion. And then you refocus your attention to what you're doing. I'm just going to be a gentleman. I don't want anything here. Simple thing. I'm just going to be a gentleman. Just say a couple of sentences and that's it. I don't want anything to come to fruition here. So you take the load off. There's no need to be confident or not confident. You're just having a conversation for no specific purpose to achieve anything. So the pressure is off. Suddenly, being confident, not being confident, whatever the brain suggests or whatever you feel, does not threaten you because you're not after anything. And then reevaluation of it would quickly take place that, no, it's bullshit. I just did a good job. It was positive. I'm happy with it. So I'm actually not bad. I feel more confident now. You switch the whole thing and you keep doing this approach. Through neuroplasticity, you'll be rewiring these self-induced nonsense and the effects of the brain's activity. Orlando says, I have been dealing with anger and frustration from feeling betrayed from my ex, which seems not to give a damn about me. Why would you care if this girl gives a damn about you? You're in love with your ego. That's why you're trying to do the ego's bidding by reacting to what someone is doing, which is giving you actually no harm, and you shouldn't give a shit about it. But the ego says, no, give a shit about it because my whole value depends on if she gives a damn. And you say, oh, fuck off. Who is she in this world? What has she accomplished? Brought up a cure to common cold, feeding all the elderlies, taking care of the children, saving people around the world. What is her echelon? That her giving a damn about me makes me important. And not giving a damn about me makes me feel sad. Why? Who the fuck is she? So ego is trying to trump you to say that you work for me. And you say, shut the hell up. You're ego. You're part of my shit. You work for me. If I'm not here, there would be no ego. You're here because of me. My desire for pleasure, desire works for me. I don't work for desire to constantly running me to look for pleasure. No, you guys work for me. So I judge you. So fuck off. So you say, I am free. I don't need anyone's kudos or give a damn about me. Why? Because I don't want someone who actually doesn't care about me. The hell with her. I don't want her attention. She's already left. I'm going to look for another girl. I'm going to find another woman who's suitable to me, meets my standards, and is nice enough for me to want to be around her. And if she's not nice, she can go again too. I'll go with somebody else. This is how you approach it. Otherwise, you're hungry up for someone to pay attention to you because you have given the brush of your drawing your value and marking what your value is to someone else to draw. Why? You draw your value. You set your values based on how you negotiate life. Simple. Simple. Don't make it so difficult. Don't expect people to give you value. And Nooks 10 says, I always respected myself, but just after breakup, my ex talked to me bad and I didn't answer properly because I was emotionally weak. Now I can't forgive myself that I let her talk to me like this. Again, that's ego. Just trump the ego. Say, I'm big enough, and he was a woman, so therefore I was pleasant and respectful, and let her feel she won. That's okay. I'm strong. I'm a man. I can do things, and I will do things, and I will find something suitable for me. But if that made her feel good, and I was being respectful, and she's a lady, she's a woman, so why would I be lashing out on her? Let her feel that at least I made her feel protected. I didn't jump at her. I wasn't rude. I wasn't angry. I didn't show anger. So if I would have done that, that would be scaring someone who's weaker than me. And that's not chivalry. That's not gentlemanship. So I've been a gentleman. Yeah, maybe I should have just told her, I don't know, come on, fuck off. But I didn't. And that doesn't take anything off of my nose. It just means I did the right thing. I controlled my anger towards a woman. And we should do that. We men should never get ourselves into an anger energy in dealing and negotiating with a woman to suddenly cause us possibly mistakenly do something ungentlemanly to a woman. So the fact that you were less than what you could have been is better than having reacted more than you should have or you could have. So it's all okay. It's not a problem. You know, next time you want to be assertive, if somebody gives you shit, say, well, listen, I don't want to escalate this and try to go mouth to mouth with you as far as your insults are concerned. This is your level of understanding, and I'm not standing here to be insulted by you or the likes of you. You go on, take care of your own shortcomings, and I'll take care of mine. And I certainly don't need you to open your mouth and tell me about things that you haven't fixed in yourself. Boom! Mic drop. And you go. And that's the way you have to handle it. You don't have to be harsher than that. All right. Ash says it feels like effort to talk to people in real life at the moment. It's because you're looking for an outcome. If you're talking to a girl, if you're talking about girls, talking to guys is easy. You say some shit. Hello, how are you? How's your day? Okay, yeah, what you doing? Okay, I'm doing shoulders. Okay, fine. Okay, that's easy. You can talk to guys. And if they're not up to talking, you fuck them. Just move on. You don't have to make friends with everybody. Not everybody's compatible or have the right mindset to want to socialize. So you see that. And but if you're talking to a girl, if you go into that discussion by expecting something at the end, a phone number, a feeling towards you, or preference, or a future, or possibility of a date, or that's gonna make it difficult. If you don't want anything from them, and you just want to admire the fact that she's beautiful, or she's got a nice energy, or it motivates you, you just say simple, polite, gentlemanly thing having to do with nothing. Something like, I'm glad that in such a weather we are at least inside doing some workout, or something like that. Or it's lovely to have a chance to work out in a nice day like this. And they would say, yeah, or no, or whatever. Or, simple things. So you don't attach your conversation to gaining anything out of it. It's just a social conversation, like you're talking to a dog, not in a negative way. Dog, I love dogs. We're talking to a horse. You're talking to something that you just want to be pleasant to and socialize. You don't want anything from them. As long as you don't want anything from anyone, your conversation, your connection, your interaction would be easy. But if you're going in there and hoping to gain something with the compliment or something that you're going to talk to her, then it's going to give you pressure and it's going to make it obvious, and then you're wondering about it, and it becomes, should I say, should I not say? What if she rejects me? What if she doesn't respond to me? What if she, all that, makes it challenging. Yeah, Ash. No, I saw Nox 10, but there's no discussion you did. He writes, if I want to read everything, read out loud everything that everybody writes, it's not people. Other people can read, so there's no need for answering it. So therefore, I just leave it. Oh, you're talking about the how can we forgive ourselves bit? I see. The how can you forgive ourselves? Well, you don't need to forgive yourself, Nax. Why? Because I remember my professor in university said something very meaningful, among many other things. He was my favorite professor, Dr. Richard Ferris. And in Behavior and Organization, he said, at the time one makes a decision, one believes that that decision is correct. Think about it. It's true. If you're a decent man, at the time you make a decision, you believe that that decision is correct. Otherwise, you wouldn't make it because you're not insane, you're not crazy. So, with all the information available to you, the decision that you make at the time that you make, you believe that that decision, based on what's available to you, is the correct decision. Now, later on, after you made it and acted on it, if new evidence or new information comes along that you say, oh, I shouldn't have done that, well, that information wasn't available then. Maybe you should have waited longer to figure out if there's more information coming through or not on that particular topic or decision that you wanted to make or not, and then make the decision. But when you have made it, at the time you made it, you thought, you believed that the decision is correct. Later on, if new information comes along, that wasn't your choice. That wasn't available to you. So if the decision turns out to be a mistake, you can't blame yourself because you didn't do that on purpose. You thought that that decision is correct based on the available information to you or your wisdom or your expertise about it at the time. So there is no reason to blame yourself or forgive yourself because you didn't do anything wrong on purpose, because your main focus was that at the time that you made the decision to do something, you believed that that decision was correct because you were not focusing to do something wrong. You were focusing to make the best decision, and you made it. Later on, you saw that wasn't, oh, it turned out bad. So what's the forgiving for? Why do you have to feel guilty? About what? What for? You didn't intend to make anything bad. You did your best. Unless you hit her or abuse someone, that's unforgivable. But otherwise, you did what you could based on what was available, information available to you, and based on your experiences, and you thought, this is the best that I can do. So that's pretty much what I have to say about that. I have a video on guilt, and if you just go to my channel and click on the table of contents in the research and say guilt, you will have a number of videos coming in, and you can choose from like how to deal with guilt of OCD. Are you guilty for having intrusive thoughts? Why is it hard to initiate a breakup? Guilt. How to let go of the guilt for the breakup. I feel guilty how I treated my ex. How to stop negative thoughts, guilt's regrets. I feel guilty to be happy. How do I stop negative thoughts, fear of future guilt? How can I control thoughts of guilt coming to my head? She says she lied about this and that, so forth. All these are available. Just go on the search engine of my channel, put the word guilt, G-U-I-L-T. Spelling class. So that will help you out. Ash says, I've got to be honest, I've been isolating again for a while, Mehran, and I'm socially retarded. Now, I want my life again, but I don't want to be around people a lot of the time either. It's a dichotomy. Look, it is okay that you don't want to be around people, but it's not that again, you can do the fourth step. I don't want to be around people right now. And then you reframe it. Do I not want to be around people, or I don't want to be around the wrong people? You're talking with your wise advocate. I don't want to be around people right now. Relabeling, reframing. Do I not want to be around people, or I don't want to be around wrong people? Mhm. Refocusing. Now you're going to do something positive. So this sort of thinking or narrative goes away. That positive thing could be a very simple thing. Again, drinking tea or doing something positive at your home, something to repair or some music to play. That doesn't include smoking weed. That's not a positive thing. Something positive, such as even uh, talking to some people that are not the wrong people, they're good people, and you can have a conversation. Maybe just a short conversation, not a big conversation, just so that you can follow up with refocusing from this narrative that you changed it, you understood it, you're refocusing to something new and positive, which is a discussion with someone in some positive place, not a bar. And then you reevaluation takes place automatically as a step four. And then continuing this motion, pretty soon you're rewiring your brain that you don't think that you want to be alone. You don't think that you don't want to interact with people. You actually find the right people to interact with. You narrow it down and get the shit out of it, not generality of it. So you again use neuroplasticity. We can use neuroplasticity for many reasons in our lives and fix the feelings, the emotions, so on and so forth. Change the narrative, you will change the emotion. That's one of the interesting things that it was uh, experimented in the laboratory. Dr. Schwartz was talking about a certain experiment that there was a picture showing a bunch of people crying, and it was obviously showing that they were in a setting of a funeral, and everybody was uncomfortable. And that emotion was showing, the negative emotion was showing a sad emotion in that picture. But then the research was showing that by changing the narrative of that event, such as, well, the man or the woman did have a full life, enjoyed his life and benefited and accomplished so many things. He had a full life. And that narrative experiment showed that it changed the ability to deal with that emotional event. The emotions changed because they were able to deal with it because they changed the narrative rather than just saying, yeah, he died and I was so sad and all that. They added that he had a full life. He had so many, let's say, children, or he accomplished so many things in whatever field that he was expert in, and he enjoyed his life and so on and so forth. So they changed the narrative. So the same thing, when you change the narrative, where did I start this? Anyhow, the emotion. This is what I was saying. You change your thought process, the emotion changes with it. Yeah. So if you have an emotion of being lonely, you change the thought process of it by understanding it and changing it and describing it to your wise advocate and focusing on something simple and positive. And suddenly your thinking has changed. Your emotion of being lonely will change as well with it. That's a reevaluation step forward that happens automatically. And Ash says, I don't smoke weed, Maren, just a bit of crack now and that shit. Yeah, okay. You're right, though. When I have a good interaction, I feel sociable again, but then isolate again, and it's back to square one. Because from that interaction, you're expecting to be popular, and you talk too much through it, I guess. You want to show them who you are. Don't. Just a short discussion about whatever. And that's enough. You don't want to gain anything from it. You don't want to gain their opinion about you. You don't want to go on to show how wonderful you are. And so just stop it short. Don't want to tell a whole life story. And Ash says, I was joking. I don't do any drugs. Yeah, I know you're joking. So apart from maybe some heroin once. Okay. Yeah, keep joking. And again, so I'm joking, but I don't do any drugs. Okay. And Nak says, the problem is my ex is not hot, nor that beautiful. She's immature and lazy, but I don't know what the heck is still making me feel linked to her because she's giving you attention. We want a relationship because we want attention. The attention is what motivates us, want to be with someone. That someone may not actually meet all the check marks on our standards and expectations, but nevertheless, we want to be with her because she gives us attention. And every human being is looking to be noticed and paid attention to, feel important. She makes you feel important. She makes you feel you're attended to, that she pays attention to. And for that reason, you are still with her. And perhaps that's you're using her in an indirect way, not in such a bad way, but indirect way. And she says, but don't know. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, guys, looks like we answered all the question. It's been 2 hours and 26 minutes, 7 people here, and this is the time I would say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. And don't forget to promote the channel. Don't forget that we have that opportunity for group session, which I said I put the link for you guys there. And here's again the link for your for you. Oh no, not that's not the link. And then also you can go on my site, mind@sixtruth.com, make an appointment for us to chat what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@sixtruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.